Fumble them on a good evening, on a good afternoon, on a good morning, wherever on a find on a safe na the world. I hope say una they do well. I hope say the week go fine for una. I hope say una they do take the necessary precautions they wanna need for take, because listen, yes, the world is opening up, but corona is still around. Different variants then still they around, and we need for protect ourselves and protect we loved ones them. Well, fumble them, and I can always ask a question. Matilda, you need for bring this person come. Matilda, you need for interview this person. Matilda, you need for sit down with this. Matilda, why make you know they bring this person? So I recall about 1 year ago, now intensely they asked me, say, make I bring this person come, and I need for interview am by force, that I'm not doing justice by not interviewing her. And I put a call out. I'm like, okay, give me her contact, or reach out to her, let her know I'm here, and and I'll set it up. But you see, una na less man them, una can like for the person work, but una no one for do the work. So I relaxed because and I'm like, you know what? Preparation and opportunity equals success. Right? Preparation and opportunity equals success. So for me, I relax, and then I kept saying to people, when the time is right, believe me, she will be here with us. Just be patient when the time is right. And I believe the time is right, and she is here. This person is no other person than Madam Femi Claudius-Cole. Most of una sabiam. Now the first time this, like I said, they sit down on a show with me, but definitely she's no stranger to viewers, according to what I was told. So, Madam Femi Claudius-Cole, I want to make you tell Fumble they I do.
Mr. Fagladi for dinner the show finally today. Tell Fumble the all Luna Kushe. I bring greetings from Salone. We did there, we dey struggle, we dey manage. We tell Una thank you for all waiting Una they do on this side of the diaspora.
Yes. So even before I begin the show proper, this series this year, Amakam, the 60th Independence series, the 60th anniversary Independence series. So every time I get guests in at the show, where for the first time during this year, I can always ask them two sets of questions. The first question I ask them now, what do you remember about Sierra Leone? What was your childhood like growing up in Sierra Leone? And the next question I can ask them that, what is the Sierra Leone that you would like to see? So
Wow.
I go let
Okay.
blog.
Now begin from there. Well, for me, childhood memories na all school days. Now all school days. We entire family, we all, without exception, we all go FSSG school. And I go FSSG school from nursery. So I get very vivid memories there still of I can remember first day in school. I remember saying I so crying no more, we be all in the crying at the one class. I can remember me almost all my teachers then at primary school, I can remember quite vividly, and the one in na secondary. I can remember school days being one of such joy, such happiness. I can't remember anything bad where I go associate with my memories of school. But anything for do with Salone during my childhood, it got for do with FSSG school. And it will reach a stage where me be actually get the impression saying that my parents and me actually get the school. You know, my papa have been the doctor, and my mama and Auntie Cassandra Gaba were very close friends. So I be always feel like I say the school na be an extension of Wales. Very weird. I think to say by the time I reach class 4, class 3, class 4, now actually begin for realize say really and truly not some papa get FSSG school. Now my mama na just a very dedicated na been board of trustees and all this. But the memory was school days, happy days, learning. I remember bread butter and salami, whom in the buy, bread and olele. They were just happy memories. They were just. I can remember once or twice where we get some kind cool at the country where parents they all can run the kind of school for campus, then picking them. Remember, say we've been there primary and we been get the whole secondary. They go up to from 6 there, and a day, then one and then I've been the head girl then at the school. So even though we've been there primary, the school was not been like a family kind of. So when I can come for camp, pull them picking in a school, I can always get the memory say we own family now. We last in the can't take na FSSG school. Now we last they left na the one who compound. So you like them they shoot them, they do anything. My parents then can just feel say the school na a safe environment for them we day. So 9 times out of 10 now we last when they left school. And as I said, those are just happy memories. I don't know if picking and today getting kind of memories and then we get of learning, of excelling. I don't say them in a flag way at times, but on the whole, the memory was one that was really special. It was really special. Yeah,
Special. I like the way where you end and the memory was special. I wish most of us can say the same that our memory was special. I don't know that many of us can say our memory was special, but maybe somewhere in between. Now, whose salon you go want for see? Having lived in Sierra Leone, having worked in Sierra Leone, experienced Sierra Leone, the salon where you been grow up with and the salon where they now, whose salon you want for see?
Oh, the salon where they now, I not even think what I'm saying. The reason we are still very interested and committed in the whole political arena, now because I feel like say the salon where I imagine, the salon where I know say can be a possibility can still be real. I get a feeling they say not a game where we can just pack and put in a corner say you know ever get for B. I get a firm belief say with the right heart and the right minds running Sierra Leone, salon can be a complete paradise. Complete paradise. I mean, I can look now, say, with the Coppp people, I just come through Ghana, with the Coppp Ghana, with the Coppp Nigeria. Now, me member, then days, then day, where we they go holiday in Nigeria, we'll go Nigeria, we go laugh them. Then they get blackouts. That same day, where you break taxi na salon, now you wondering the taxi they take, they go left you right now the domot of the place where you they go. You they pay 30 leons or 20 cents, I think. Now you they pay. The taxi they go left you 1 grain, you one. If they pick you, carry you 1 grain go. Oh, they go Nigeria, where then they take 3-4 people in a taxi, would they laugh then? Then they get blackout. Then they call a NEPA. Would they laugh then in Nigeria? We in Sierra Leone, we not be know that. We not be waiting a blackout. We not be waiting for a taxi. It barely they even pick you at the junction self. Now they almost they walk you foot self with the way you down for put you down. So that's Sierra Leone where we now they turn around, they admire now other countries. I are convinced if I sleep awake now because I convinced Sierra Leone get for be a paradise, not if, when. I believe say I go see them before I go to my grave, where people are able to live a decent life, young people are able for do it and get for do then land waiting ever trade, land whoever work and get for land, and that money they able for make they able for live na Salone. Picking they able for excel na exams where other countries and go to collect away. I believe say I get for see them before I die. And I know go make that dream they come on my eye, not for 1 second. I like how things bad na Salone. I keep that hope there. Say Sierra
So
Leone will be a
Nada, is that
paradise.
the hope? Is that the hope that gets you up in the morning? Nada hope day, is that the hope that wakes you up? Is that the hope that keeps you going, that makes you get up every morning and say, I want to live and I want to do?
And I want to do this. And I go do it. And now that's the make I will see something wrong. I not on me eye. As much as they go say that mommy and bog that mommy gets na and I will see something. If na pass they pass, if na inside me motoka a day, I see something. Now that feeling they go make us stop. I say not sweep that or today na gutter, my friend. Not sweep and go inside gutter. But people then they tell you, you know they I can't turn a blind eye. I don't switch on Sierra Leone. I'm not able for this. See, you know it in before that we always die. Now lie to God, we not agree. The bad apples they're not get for define the whole of Sierra Leone. We not agree. It like where we they listen to the news, we they see things the way they make we chest the on. You're so frustrated, you're so vexed. You are like, I could pick somebody up and just throw you down, but I will still continue for faith. I will still continue for talk. Cost me whether you want cost me or not, but we get for faith for Salone. It will get for faith for her. If not, then what
Wait,
else?
you say we get forfeit for Salone. Is that the idea and perception? Because you then at the health field by profession, and then you make this transition to politics, which is kind of rare because very seldomly they see people from the health profession make a transition to politics, even though you not left them altogether. And this is a prime example of politics is not the be all and end all of it. You still maintain your profession, you still make sure that your profession they earn you, but whilst you're looking at the other spectrum of society. Is that is it the frustration? I cannot say frustration. What made you decide outside of, because you can choose any other thing for do, you can choose for be a philanthropist, you can choose for be any other thing, but you decide say, including wetin I already they do, me self they can put an pan this politics talk. Wetin push you or wetin lead you to that?
On a team push me. And the team will push me, I tire for grumble. We were at that women then at then corner where we can do the grumble. Whether na married or whether na burying or whether na pulnado, at the end of the day, we they get an one corner we begin grumble. And from 2014 to 2015, now I seriously begin for really look at Sierra Leone, where I begin for talk to people then. I say, look, it okay for we for you think to say we can just then a corner with the grumble so they go. Something will happen magically, we go change way. It dawned on me. I can tell people and say, for me, it may almost sound like I don't know if you would call them like a dream or if not like an out of body experience. Seriously, when it occurred to me, say, if work there for do. So wait, Femi, you want to sit down a corner now, you they wait for the people who they can do the work for you. And you say you're patriotic, you say you like Salone, but not hypocrite. If you say you like Salone, if you say you're committed, do something. Okay, you they treat people like you they go, you they treat people, you they give free medicine. You they make a difference. And at that moment, I realized, say, if we all the wait for we company for Duam, we not get for Duam. Okay, you probably not get for succeed. People then go laugh you, then go provoke you, then go eat you Coppp, then go this, then go that. But for me, try, make an attempt, try. And initially, my attempt na been for join a political party. Not to be for start one at all.
Mm-hmm.
I begin to look around political party. Usai, I go able. Then Ebola came up. I begin to meet with people. Then I meet with a couple of political people. I say, "What in we plan? Coming up to 2018, we will not get plan." I begin to talk to people. Then a couple of people then came back to me. Say, I want to let you meet this person, I want to let you meet that person there, then begin introduce me to different people then for make you make a political, begin make political alliances, begin make friends, begin forget for no people then. But when Ebola happened, I realized certain things. It was an eye-opener for me. I may not begin joining the forum there, so I begin to put messages out in the forum. I said, I think we get a big problem with Ebola. I think politics get for take a back seat right now. I think to say we all get for put shoulders to the wheel for this Ebola. Some said na propaganda, na political waiting, and this. And I realized, well, me focus don't become a little bit different. Maybe one for no waiting on earth they happen with Ebola. For me, I feel to say that a big thing we get for end up, they can cost me a lot of lives. So all my energy now, I put them into the Ebola. I begin to myself Ebola fund, begin for and do fundraising and stuff like that. But I realized that the political conversation was contaminated. At that point, I realized that the political field, Femi not even try safe. Now different in shit the way they sing from. Totally different in shit. Nobody no go even get yes for you say now this and that. I mean, I look what happened. So the Ebola explode the way Ebola explode. So towards the end of Ebola, now I begin thinking, say, I wonder if it's possible, say person fit start a political party. I wonder if it's possible. I wonder waiting at the as they say they tell you so now me back there they pack so. As I get this conversation with myself, now my bags there they pack. Now my last shift at the work so in America. Now free time I reach so. As well I can say I would for start political party. That was the test. Then I be really the test to see if we go able to succeed. I not being realized say it will be that big of a challenge. I not being realized say there will be that many obstacles. I not being realized say the negativity will be that much. Some people then feel to say you are just a joke. Some man just provoke. Some people then just defend way for Kanumon you sphere for me then fair for its money na you earn. Just make a fool out of you. For make a fool out of you. You know. So as the 2018 they progress, I begin to put sense. I begin capture sense in a hurry. And I can say the 2018 election, now there I get me PhD, man. Now there I
So
get
the
me.
2018 election was your pilot. You basically make we just say the 2018 election was your learning ground. That is where you went to school. That is where you
Now there,
learned. That is where, yes.
now there 419 me. Now they then alting me. That was my
Wow.
learning. That was my learning. And till tomorrow, I can tell God thank you. Say I went through that election without the day after the election. I didn't owe not one person, not one single cent, because it reached a pitch where my team will begin for really learn aggressively on with it. How for make we one palm stretch. How, I mean, let us boss you no more. When they go offline, we can go do medical outreach in the village them. I
So
mean,
the
they
audience,
really,
I
really
want you
remote.
all to share this interview, please, and invite people to come in, tell and say are they on. This is a very interesting conversation we are having. Trust me, you will learn a lot today that you do not know. Come on, spread, share, come on and join. Go ahead.
So at that point, we don't begin for do the medical outreach there. So we will see them like a good platform for able for reach inside the community. For go inside the communities them, meet with people them, whilst we they sit down there, we they treat them. Meanwhile, we they do campaigning, we they talk to people them. The wise ones, you get the wise ones then. They get the technique when I in them they use for lull you into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
First, what would they go offline? So we first when they go, then remote areas, then a hotel will not get choice. And they go with a team of about 17, 18 people. Now hotel, now they would go lodge. Now inside the chinch, now they inside the alting, now they inside the back. Hotel room when like a 30,000 for night, we will reach then a 300,000, 400,000 for night. So we've been the hemorrhage money.
Yeah.
We were hemorrhaging, as well as we get the medical outreach, as well as we get the toothbrush campaign, as well as we get all this they try for gather people. But one lesson where I learned, the hard lesson, Salonians do not care about the ideology. They're not listening. No matter what the truth, where you they go in that village, you they go in that area, they for go tell them. They will dance for you. They will make songs for you. And they will dance and dance until 1 cent not left inside your bag. Then now me can sabi some then sing there. They say they get some sing the way. No matter how hard they sing for you, they will never, ever vote for you.
For you.
But then go hemorrhage you till you they left that village there. So at one point, I get a moment where I'm sitting with myself and I think to myself, say now, how can we change this narrative? How will they able for change this narrative? They are suspicious of you because they not sabi you, they not know you. They are suspicious of you. So, especially the younger ones, then go tell them, say, it's them, it's them good. Then when so when you see them come, when you see them, you vote for them, when you see you put it inside, they never come back. So we're now trapped in a catch-22 situation. So me get for use me own sense now for know how do I navigate? as a newcomer in the political atmosphere, how I navigate myself successfully. Now tell me, team. I say, you know it, team. Now, then they can't vex for me. So me, mommy and God are there, they shape money. I said to God, and I no one know what's in the reason, and elect them dance from Bill Clinton and it to God and they give money. Matilda, I stopped giving money. I simply stopped it cold. We go into the areas, we go into the villages. Elect I give 1 hour speech. To God at the end of the day, and they give 1 cent. We sit with the clinic, we do the day's clinic, and that is it. Now that way we manage forget votes then areas of Cambia, areas of Potloko, areas them na Kailaon, where we came close to being able to win a council seat. Now that day I realized say the ideology does not matter.
Yeah. Right, because first of all, you get the people that when I sabotage them, where especially where you're not an outside player. Coming in, first of all, with all of your expertise and knowledge, first of all, they see you as a threat. Second, they will help to sabotage and go to, hey, no worry, if you say get money, una suck and good, una dry and good. And that is where the watermelon politics as well, that, you know, the saying, Salone watermelon politics we get, that is where that saying comes from, because today you go see some man wear green t-shirt, they dance. I mean, we saw the pictures where people who are so smart with these things, they are able to say, hey, look at where we've been at that SLPP rally, look at wear the shirt, look at where we've been at that APC rally, hey, look at our NGC rally again with the shirt. And that is why I say, I'm not saying, you know, for give people an incentive during campaign, but that monetarization need for stop. Need for stop. It need for stop, because it not a benefit we at all. During the campaign, coming in as a newcomer, experiencing what you been done experience, and then waiting you see from the Ebola, we push you for say, you know, waiting. I mean, they look for political party, but they look for say me self need for can join the game and make you. How easy or difficult was it for you to establish that? And also, did you get the support of women buying into your idea, or were men the one who bought into your idea the most?
It was men. It was more men and a lot of young people. But it was more men than women who bought into the idea. In some cases, women were actually quite aggressive. We had teams, women, they go out, they go meet people, tell them about the party, and they meet with some amount of aggression from other women. Men were more welcoming in those early days than the women. The women, waiting women, they hear a lot. One woman even throw away dirty water pan some of the girls them, where they go meet them at their neighborhood, they talk to them. They were campaigners. Then go from door to door, then they tell you don't ever hear about this party, blah, 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 blah. It's already dirty water pan. It's a man they no Salone no don't see better, man they no dey na power, no see better, na woman go make you see better. If you not come up before me, I see take the dirty water and I send up and
wow.
Send up and the girls then. So the women, and when I begin to engage women them in order for let them go contest for council positions, people then go don't recommend to me say that particular chairlady day or that particular market woman then a very dynamic woman go meet them. Matilda, where you go meet them, it they refer you to your husband. It they refer you back to your husband. They not go accept the position. Now one. And some of the candidates that are finally able to get on the side were those who had been marginalized by the APC, where APC not get a symbol at the last minute. So even that one and then now we go come on board to you. How committed are they?
Right.
a big gamble, because in some cases we help them for pay nomination fees. Council nomination fees were 500,000. We help Boku woman for pay. If not all, we'll pay part of them for them. But are they committed to the party? I don't think they were. So at the end of the whole election cycle, where as Sidom for really do we did a postmortem too. What were the things where we do wrong? What are the things that we'll be able to do better? And at the end of the whole election cycle, I can honestly confess that I was very proud of myself. The day after the elections, after the first voting, people in Ghana owes to me. Everybody thought I was going to be very depressed. I was going to be sad. But when Ghana they found me very uplifted. I'm like, this was a learning curve. This was one hell of a learning curve. And if I say I did do am because I'm committed to Sierra Leone. And if at first you don't succeed, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. I said, this is not a huge, I mean, imagine for travel na Salone not for you. For the commoner one with a crisscross along from the south to the north, from the south to the north, with vehicles them on bad road. But stay up until now, the village ended and submitted today. And Usai at the beginning for gain the respect, and the resilience. Some can tell me, say we can refuse to say this, mommy, we can refuse to say you don't forget about politics. Mommy will gladly for you, especially after the elections, when I did a thank you talk. So man say what you go tell thank you for. Then I'll vote for you. Now, for that side way one person vote for me.
Gratitude.
And they go back go tell thank you. So when I begin go back on me thank you talk, I think to say now day I begin for make a reputation for myself. People are not really expect them. A lot of people they make a lot of comments. Say the one that we be in today they not come back self can't tell we thank you. You for all what you do for we all the merits way you give we will not vote for you now you come back and tell thank you. So even when I can go as far as Kailang, where I can go Moyamba, all the areas and the way I go there, I meet people away, they all go sabi me. Then go tell me, say, now you been treat me, you know, remember, you go face this picking can show me, face that picking they can show me. So again, a lot of respect from them. I go back Mambolo, we go do thank you turn and Mambolo. The Paramount Chief gave us audience. He said, anyway, you now woman. He said, you kind. He had foresee. So for the one that we been filmed to say, when you see this mommy don't cancel, you don't exhaust, you don't spend all this boku money. This now die they go die so you know they ever come back again and not go able. So people were shocked. The fact that even for one moment, I not skip a bit. I went back to Kailang. I went back to Mambolo. I went back to Putloko. I went back to all these places. And even for some of the smaller political parties, Nami probably still get office. Nami no more still get office na Kailang, still get office na Cambia, still get office na. People are shocked. People are still shocked for say, this mommy not on die go. No, I'm not. I'm in it for the long haul. And now I really begin to engage with the young people. It is very gratifying. Very, very gratifying. I don't know what an election will look like in 2023. You know, it's up in the air. But one thing where I know for a fact, that thing where I've been there constantly will not sabia. Will not sabia. Other than this, mommy, will not sabia. Now then, sabi me good one. Because I advocate. I advocate when the advantage one pass mark, I go put my face inside there. I'm like, no, this is not right. It's not right. We'll not get for grief for this. I mean, the entire thing with Black Johnson, the entire thing with the councillors, the councillors are at risk, and even the SLPP councillors. they're not fully aware yet, say they are also at risk. They don't
Right.
realize the enormity of what they're
We the
handling.
candy. We the candy. We the Canada side. I want to ask you a question. During the early days of President Bio into office, in Press Secretary Keketuman, I recall very well that day you were in attendance in that interview where it talks say, I think they ask and the question say, why make the cabinet not get a lot of female representation? And then he make the comment say it's because they cannot find capable women. And you know, I was obviously aroused. I mean, sit down. It's like I needed to jump through. And but then, what's funny is that during President Bio in TED Talk speech, when they ask him the question, why make get a lot of representation, either TED Talk or, but anyway, it was an international forum discussion, representation of female. They say not to because no one gets representation of female. They say but because when you approach the woman them, they get a positive feedback from them, and so he's left with no choice after a while than to go and appoint a man. However, that statement they completely negate wetin e say na the town hall, because wetin e say na the town hall is exactly wetin im press secretary bin say right at the beginning of the ruling, which is you cannot find, we don't have competent women, or there aren't competent women to take on position. Such that someone like yourself in politics vying for the highest office of the country, waiting, how that they make you feel, and also given the current status of the political makeup, and waiting the president can always they talk about how that they go make woman then feel for even get the wherewithal, the boldness for take on political offices them, and for see say they are equal partners, they have a right to be at the table, to be seated at the decision making table.
They don't they use that poor excuse there for quite a while. The Bio administration is one that, as time has gone on, I get less and less respect for them. They make the comment all the time, say they're not qualified. We're sick of showing where women are, where they can access women. We have women on boards. The women are there. But what you have is an administration that's a boys' club. It's become a boys' club, and where the secrets are laid, the secrets are made, and the secrets are protected. There is no look. If President Bio wanted to have dynamic women in his administration, he would have them. He cannot say he has approached women. He has not approached women. And we're talking about forums that are there. We are talking about women leaders that are proactive. There are dynamic women who are accomplishing a lot in Sierra Leone, and they treat us as if women do not exist. I think it's now the biggest apology, and it's the biggest shame. But in the midst of telling a lot of untruths, the truth comes out. And their truth is it's jobs for the boys. The government will be bloated to whichever level that they choose to accommodate what the boys are doing. The inefficiencies in the cabinet, the inefficiencies in the ministries, nobody has any attention to pay to it. It is as if they are almost blind. We look at the inefficiencies of the ministries, we look at the inefficiency of NACOVAC, we look at the inefficiencies within even the education sector, that's their flagship. You see levels of inefficiency that is mind-blowing. But it is a club. There are few women there dotted here and there just to change the narrative just a little bit, not for substance. If the Bill administration was committed to really empowering women in governance, we would begin to see institutions begin to change. But all we're saying, and he said it himself, these were not anybody putting words in the president's mouth. These were his own words. He gives people jobs that he knows, people that he likes, people in his circle. He's not ready to see the institutions of Sierra Leone function. In already it. Right now, it is purely a boys' club where you will remove a minister of ill repute, and you install him as Minister of Finance. The evidence is clear. It is clear. And the people of Sierra Leone, we are just watching. We are watching in horror. We are watching in disgust. And for me, I tell you, Matilda, sometimes I think to myself, maybe I should try to see this man. Maybe I should try to engage the president and ask him, Mr. President, you cannot be this out of touch with the reality on the ground in Sierra Leone. You cannot. You cannot. You are talking from one side of your mouth and you're doing something completely different. It's the entire cabinet of Sierra Leone trying to tell us they do not know about the level of illegal mining in Sierra Leone. They don't know. Is it a shock to them? At which point, Mr. President, are you going to wake up and say, let me begin to secure the future of the people of Sierra Leone? Let me begin to secure their future. Let us not let Fangite Chinese can rape we in broad daylight. When are you going to be committed? And don't tell us the women are not there. Please do not. That's an insult.
Speaking of when you go sit down take Chinese cam rape way, Black Johnson $50 million. Is 50 million worth Black Johnson, or is Black Johnson worth more than 50 million? Is Black Johnson worth selling in the first place?
Black Johnson should not be sold, not by any stretch of the imagination. Black Johnson should not be sold. It's a fraudulent sale. That's the first thing. It is a fraudulent sale. Now, Matilda, I haven't seen a shred of document. I haven't seen not one shred of document. But common sense tells us this. If we are committed, and you have said that we are committed to promoting tourism in Sierra Leone, that is on the one hand. Have you seen the fish harbor in other countries, in the Gambia, with the dead fish laying all over the place? If you are committed, you cannot be committed to tourism and then use the most pristine beaches for a fish harbor. And if I put it to Mr. President, I put it to the Minister of Fisheries, I put it to all of them. If the Chinese are in Sierra Leone for a fish harbor, we can say they use 50 acres of land. We can even say they use 70 acres of land. There is no one that will convince a thinking human being that the Chinese need 252 acres for a fish harbor. That deal should be laid out for the full public, for us all to see. For us all to see. And then you can give a justification. But the Minister of Fisheries said, and the Minister of Environment said, they have not yet done an impact assessment survey.
Yeah. So how do you sell a place, especially a place like that? How do you sell it without an impact assessment survey, without an environmental survey? How do you justify that in the first place? And how do you value the land? So what metrics was used to value the land to say $50 million suffice? And for the justification wey dem dey give is that, well, the harbor na inside Sierra Leone go dey, e get for benefit Sierra Leone. I'm trying to play devil's advocate, like whose incentive wey the Chinese then give them for make them go so low to just basically, it's like
Give it
when
away.
I can say make I give you small, make I give you cold water, because this not a cold water deal.
This is a fraudulent deal. I think that I'm not sure just how much noise we as Coppp can make, as individuals can make, for them to put on their thinking caps. And it will be interesting to watch the rape of Black Johnson happen in real time. And we had a meeting with Ben Kalfala, the ACC commissioner. But he made his position quite clear, that he basically doesn't go looking for corruption. Basically, corruption has to find him. There is a strong element of corruption in this deal. A very strong one. And I think that as we all watch and wait and see how this deal, I understand that they're building already, how this deal is planned out. Because you see, they have a habit, this government has a habit of doing things back to front. So we do not do an impact assessment. We wait till we don't sell them, we don't get them, they don't begin build. That is when the environmental minister puts an advert in the paper to say people should bid to do an environmental assessment. Now, by right, you where one can do the plan. Now you they do the environmental assessment. You come with a proposal. Now this and this and one can build now on a land. This is the cost of it. This is the consequences of it. These are the disadvantages of it. But we have a country that is polarized. People are polarized. People do not see things in terms of the truth any longer. They see things in terms of green and red. They judge not in terms of the future of the Sierra Leonean, but the future of their pockets for today. Only for today. And it appears as if there are not many of us out there who can hold them to account, who can stop them and say, look, you have to think. You have to think. This Sierra Leone does not belong to you, not you, Mr. President. No, sir, it doesn't. This Sierra Leone belongs to generations yet unborn. And what you're doing now is unforgivable. You cannot look at the benefits of today for you, your family, and your cronies and push the rest of Sierra Leone down into the abyss. $52 million is no near compensation for anything that approaches 252 acres of land. And I say to Mr. President, I say to the Minister of Marine, I say to the Minister of Fisheries, where in China will you go and buy 252 acres of land? In China. Where in China? If at all we must have a harbor, then let us have a harbor in a place that is befitting of having a harbor. And if you're going to make decisions like this, when you first took office, Mr. President, he promised us collaboration. He promised us we were going to talk. Now we're asking for his audience. We cannot hear him. We cannot see him. He is busy traveling all over the world. And issues that are affecting the Sierra Leonean people are going unanswered. Are we going to clap our way out of this? Are we going to dance our way out of this come 2023? I don't know, big fool beef if he say don't give it for it too.
For the person who been to ask who is Black Johnson? Black Johnson is not a person. Black Johnson is
a place.
Part of, it's a place. It's part of the peninsula, a beach. Black Johnson, and it represents one of the ecosystem. When you talk about ecosystem, it represents one of the ecosystem. Black Johnson gets a lot of mineral deposits, now the soil, where we know for sure, and the environment. And what the government do is that as soon as they take on power, I think it's about 3 months or so, when they take on power, they sell, 250 something acres of the land to Chinese man them for can build a fish harbor for $50 million. No thought was put into the deal. No environmental assessment was done. The land wasn't even evaluated or valued or appraised and whatnot. And people in there we don't buy lands them, we own lands than other Black Johnson. They, because of the pristine nature of Black Johnson, because of what it offers as well, and because of the tranquility and and the beauty of the ecosystem and the beach fronts, the sea fronts, the peninsula and whatnot, people in there will invest the money, hard-earned money, that for buy places than other sites there, and these people feel like the rug has been pulled under their feet, because not only they not consult even the people them before they do this. So just imagine, you don't go, you sometimes, I know of someone who's worked, she said she and her husband worked and saved money for over 10 years to be able to afford the land that they wanted at Black Johnson and whatnot. So people are really devastated by this. I hope say the government go really, not all money na good money. So money there you get for look back and say good do, not even say our So I hope so really the government could take some deep thoughts, deep consideration into this. I already say the case day before Parliament for debate, but I'm not hopeful because Parliament has shown us time without number that when they go and make noise, 110, 210, they make noise 310, then they give the government exactly what in they ask for.
What they want.
it
Yep.
being before Parliament makes no difference to
No
me.
sense.
I want to constituency 101. Finally, the Madam Davis prevailed, but it was a long drawn battle before she
It
prevailed.
was.
And at one point, you say you not even they put you cancel or whatever for run. It's not worth it because where yams white a white make we left for
Yes.
make we left for make like where we see yams white, you know, in all white. So constituency 1 1 10. So
110. Mhm.
yeah, so 110. So yeah, consistency 110. Yeah, so 110. Waiting, was there a need really to go to the third round? And was what and should that election have been delayed for so long?
There was absolutely no need. Now, after the first round, whatever their justification was, the second round of elections, the evidence was clear that Cady Davis had won. Where the thugs went to the polling stations and the polling centers and destroyed the voting boxes, those were all done in Cady Davis' stronghold. So their intention was to upset that vote. Because this very 110, this area, this Black Johnson, all area we would talk is constituency 110. It was an area that the SLPP government seemed to want badly. Cady Davis won it. So even if them you for say then call off that area there that had the violence, the neck boss could easily have called the elections like they did in Kono. They could easily have called it. But they chose to do yet another rerun. And that was the point at which I said, I am not going to be a party to it.
Yeah. So exactly. So if them don't already set a precedent na kono and the same thing happen na yeah, why make them not follow the precedent set?
Exactly. Exactly. And now that make me say, I said, I'm not going to contest. Now let it be a fair fight between Cady Davis and Josephine Jackson. But Mimi gets full confidence. Say, yams whitey white. That lady was already molested and harassed out of her legitimate constituency seat. And we saw the amount of money that was scattered in constituency 110 to try to throw that election. The machine then for make the road na funkia, then carry the machine they all go say then they go make the road. Yes. So I was very glad when Cady Davis won. I was very happy. So at the end of the day, yams white. He white. And I think I can call her a friend. And I wished her all the best. And we still talk. We do not have to be opponents and be enemies.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of respect for her. She was always very soft-spoken. You know, it's not like any rubbish where they send and go away in a beer. I grew to respect her, and I grew to support her. Despite we were both from two different political parties. But I think sometimes we do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Indeed. Now, the phone lines are open, everyone. The phone lines are open today. We'll go take 2 minutes call, not 3 minutes call. We'll do 2 minutes call today, but the phone lines are open. Now, speaking of, by election and constituency, let's talk about this new law.
Hmm.
Let's talk
A
about this
danger.
new law. Maybe we talk about the ramifications, the pros and the cons, because everything gets a pro, everything gets a con. Now,
Yes.
does the pro outweigh the con, the good? And all thing gets good side and all thing gets bad side. But you need for see waiting if the good better pass the bad. But if the bad boku pass the good, then you need for question the thing.
Yes.
So if we talk about this new law, we say you no need for belong to political party, or you know for stand not to belong, but you know for stand under political party banner, that you for
Mhm.
stand as independent. Wetin na some of the what dem can say, the masibo wey go
The draw.
happen, the drodro and the masibo wey go happen if this thing so actually come into effect.
Okay, make I tell you the real problem with this thing. Right now, we get several fronts that we would affect. We affect on the front of women's empowerment, women's representation, how we dey able to encourage women them for take part in politics. Now, at the local level, this na the most local of levels for elections. This na we they call the grooming ground for political, for let person begin forget himself used to politics, for begin sabi politics, for how politics moves in the local level. Wetin this SLPP government want for do now for actually decapitate political parties at the local level. Now, anybody wey sabi Salone know say nothing no dey wey dey na dis country wey politics e and no dey pa. Market women, Okada riders, students union. Mama, you see students union election recently for the
Yeah,
college?
yeah.
So you are trying to preach that you can remove politics from local government elections when you have not been able to remove politics from lecturers union, from so many areas that have no business being in politics. It's already embroiled in politics. Now, you want to take the decentralization and claim that the reason for the violence, the reason why the councils are not accomplishing their goals is because of politics. Matilda, as we are speaking today, there was a press conference in the city hall where the mayor is having serious issues with the chief administrator. The political influences coming from central government, those are what are causing the obstruction. The starvation of the councils for funds, those are what is causing the problems. It is not the politics in the area where politics should be. Now you want to say you remove politics out of it. In that, if you pull politics, facts no go the day. But remember that already in the laws on the books, anybody who wants to contest can contest. You do not have to be under any political party. But what is the role of the political parties in the local elections? Their local elections, then they na the political parties na them. Now then na the chief one the way they help for facilitate even for the women to contest. The political parties support the candidates. The political parties help with the nomination fees. When you say you remove political parties from the mix, what do you leave behind? You leave it has pleased His Excellency to then appoint a commissioner or appoint somebody when they can now na the local government and determine who can contest. We leave an avenue open for corruption. We leave an avenue open for sababu. Uda sabi person na ingo get the symbol. And then to add insult to injury, you now say that councillors should have 3 WASC subject. An
So I don't
MP,
kind of education level.
you don't bring kind of on education level. This is local government. An MP does not need to read and write. To be a member of parliament, you need to read and write. To be president of the country, you only need to read and write and understand English. But for a local councillor at that level, you say you forget 3 WASC. Who becomes the shortlister? Money will begin to change hands for symbols. And then you are extending the term from 4 years to 5 years, which means the term will now coincide with the MP. So if your member of parliament is standing under a political party, and then you are saying your councillor should not stand under a political party, are you giving mixed messages? Are you trying to stifle opposition? You are not promoting a variety and leaving it open. You are actually now stifling opposition. That's what you are doing. Because the man can stand as independent if he so chooses.
Mm-hmm.
So what this government is doing is a skillful way of taking us through the back channels into a one-party state, into a one-party government. And this is what they're doing with our eyes wide open.
So basically, they are backdooring the political structure.
They are closing. They want to close the political space.
Make I go to the caller. Caller, waiting on your name and also you the call from. Hello, caller.
Dubai.
Yeah, is your voice up small? You the project through, but you not the project through fully.
Yeah, sorry, now time too late now. It's after 4 a.m. Okay, like I would say good morning to to everyone at the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, do now something then where this woman they explain where I just want try for buttress on. All waiting the mommy they talk, so she was perfectly right. This government they want to turn that country into one party state, into one party country. We can always talk this mother has an hidden agenda. I share a link to WhatsApp. I want to try for watching link rende. They will not know it in the plan. Now them but they don't mention anything in the publicly. The Lavali guy, that's what Jaman we call himself Angry Lion or Waiting Lion, and General Kaloko, we not them but them. Don't preach them out publicly, say 2023 election or get for all water. That's what Jaman say pass you and get for coming. And now, gone then don't begin inside the country, where they go and allege to people. Then people are then get plans, do at the big for Coppp or whatever this when a new movement owner said. They'll try and come out in number, put a stop to this man. If not, time is going. This man from where he go na Uganda, where come everything but and change. Now the only president this will ever get at this year of Salone, what he go do na Uganda, we don't know. And people away know about Ugandan leadership. it's almost 40 years where this one don't stay in power. So now then thing day it go for secretly where some people don't know all this in Boku travel now evil thing that they try for do. Please, mommy, are they with you? Are they with Kanye? But now are they with you? And this government not ready for empower any woman in that country. Then get their own eating agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I pray to God that you succeed, and privately I wish I can get your number. I'm with you always. I can America, so I know the America they currently Dubai, but I win develop
Wow.
where I go candy soon. Thanks so much. That's my
Thank you.
contribution. Yeah, when I go through then I'm the link your way I sent on when I relate to it to the talk.
Thank you very much, caller. Okay, Madam Femi, go ahead with your thoughts. We still dip on this councillor and this local council versus MP election. And then let's not forget, every 5 years, we also get the presidential election.
Exactly. So, I mean, the extending of the term of the councillor, that will not they significantly object to. But who said will they object? Now the closing of the democratic space. This decentralization policy where them pull. Then talk say, in fact, when a media nobody ever consulted with us, nobody no can engage with we for saying that this and that, well, this was the plan, nothing. So when we go out upline, we go do we own.
Yeah. So basically, you they say I also say a government pull a policy, they propose a policy, but there was no consultation done with opposition parties.
There was no consultation done broad spectrum, not just opposition parties. There was no consultation done on a broad spectrum, whereby actually they go to people and tell them. After where we went and did some consultations. We went to the provinces. We go ask people and say, were you consulted? Do you know about this plan? People were shocked. And what we did with our consultations, we documented, we had video evidence, we had audio evidence for proof that people were shocked. We went on the radios in the different districts to actually talk to people, and people then shocked with their bodies. They then went back. They went back and did a re-consultation of the consultation. Now, why would we be hiring consultants, paying them huge amounts of money for them to mislead us? For them to mislead us. I think
so. Basically, where this thing so common, I don't want to talk for say, when I don't notice say no broad spectrum consultation was done. Nobody was consulted on this thing. This thing was just drafted and thrown in your faces. Then they yes. Basically the excuse was, oh, we hired a consultant.
Yes, they hired a local consultant who I till tomorrow I say shame on him, because when we went back and did our consultations, there were two key areas that people objected to. One was the area of the educational requirement, and the second was the removal of political parties from that space. People were not in favor. Those were stumbling blocks. But the way that they were presented was as if everything was perfect. It was presented as if everything was perfect. Now, I mean, it baffles me and it saddens me that, people can ask, say, in Sierra Leone, who is thinking? Who is thinking? And me, I can sit down, I can look, I say, who do they think for we? Who's making decisions for us? It looks as if the Sierra Leoneans don't get value anymore in Salone. And that's okay? No, okay, we don't agree. We don't agree. This Sierra Leone not for anybody for use them and dump we. Salonians will get for begin for come into we own. And I can feel so sad where the youth are marginalized and starved of their future. When you go see Chinese man, they kick Salomon. They beat you, they kick you. And he stays in our country and he's mining all our gold. Illegally mining all our gold. And you want to tell me the Minister of Mines has no clue? The Minister of Mines has no freaking clue? It's okay. There are Ghanaians mining, there are Chinese people mining, and the Salonians are working like slaves. This is nonsense. This is absolutely unacceptable.
All you thought I would go to the callers them. Caller waiting on your name and also you the call from.
Good morning, I dey call from Salone. This is Salone.
Okay, go ahead. What do you get for we?
Una thank you, the mama there. Now, two things that I just want to raise here. This current government, we never understand what really they go on. This new company, when a mining company, where they prepare. Now, waiting they do, the workers, then they ask them for take back for go. Where first time, where Africa Mineral every day. Bosses, then the way they pick people into the work site. Now, if law assumes say when they come, people are not safe in the country anymore. Look the incident the way they happen. First lady they go block a whole traffic as if na in the president of the country. This government not serious about the people in this country. That Black Johnson thing where they talk about, so then people are they don't done with that delay. Now enforce it, they can enforce it into people now. Then we full parliamentary and then sit down, then they support them people up the evil act the way they get. They're always there and they're not genuine to the country, they're not a law for the country. We can wish the woman then they lead in this country and allow they say, but the man then don't use we. They not care about the masses at all. Mother are not blame them.
At all.
This election I give them game. So anything not suffer for the value. This man no value for anything. They don't break everything in that country they win a law, all the constitution. From them party first they break the constitution. Because we won first time succeed, you get forgive chance to others. But all this now will lead that and then two parties and they don't play this country today. Because now below they don't sign from Pakaba in time. Now it make it end up for betray in company the way people and stupidly, blindly, they go and hail, say it do better. For us way any young boy 15 year old or whatever can build and give in person. Cheap house like that day. Where the man deserving dignity. That country they let God help, but we mindset they don't demoralize the country in short way that people are not get positive thinking again. All we they think now money, come and eat money. I relate to that your story where they say, yeah. Now waiting they go and tell people and blindly, now make them not let electricity then at the country. They don't let internet then at the country. Let people are not exposed to the dubious act when they do. Because how many people get access to light and internet? Not everybody knows. So some of we were exposed to them. These people are evil. They get evil agenda. Please, Unalo come out in number and put a stop to this man. To them people there. He is not a good person. From MPRC 10 today, that man no ever get any good plan for the country. Please, I'm begging all Sierra Leone out. If they watch this here, share them, please. Lord, help. We nation for come on from this whole world. APC and SFPP, they're not good for this country.
Thank you very much, caller. I will go to the next call. Caller, waiting your name and also you dey call from. Hello, caller.
Hello, Atilda, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Doing great. My name is Fatmata Julia. I call from Toronto, Canada. Hello?
Okay. Yes, go ahead. All the set to say they listen because it go interfere
Uh,
with where you dey talk.
okay. One thing I want to say here is for congratulate first Madam Cole. It give me courage today because waiting this woman to do so, it takes a lot for her able for challenge a system like this. I remember I will be small, and not too small again. I be go school when Mother Building come to power when they overthrown the APC. Again, now woman they been stand. Now they rally na Salone for now we able to take Mother Building out of power.
Yes.
The way lies now say, oh, he been take power from Trasa because he wants better for Salone, blah blah blah. That is a lie. And now that I see this woman, it talk right from the bottom of her heart. I dey feel the sincerity. I dey feel the love where this woman get for the country. It measure about this deal where they were don't go do with the Chinese people, the way they not even think about the picking them where they get for born. Because for like we saw that we already see. But what about the children and the grandchildren waiting for come? And they don't think of which the people that for can't do now in country. The pollution of this, they just take care about their own pocket. And some of the parliamentarians, because not all, I don't want to put everybody. They just system out, like saying not doing at the country at all. It's sickening. I feel so much pain, and you don't say to the one that listen. Oh, where do you stand and they talk? You know they even try for listen. You know they reverse. Everything they come out of the mouth is so sincere. They feel like a woman who got the country at heart. They talk. And you know, it amazes me so much. And even they call upon the other women them for grab and join the politics. You know, Madam Cole, I actually they congratulate you right off the bottom of my heart. I remember I went to Salone at one time. I asked a very top woman. I said, "How come woman I know they try for involve like the politics?" The answer we give the same. You don't know. They say women are not just believe in themselves. They feel say that man no more for do this. But we don't see how women then grab na Salone. The same way they call NPRC, National Pump Rural Council. They tell them they are just a teenager and not be able to vote either. But we see that they woman they stand against Madam because Madam I don't know what is wrong with this man. I mean, how they country they ever take that in country when they can't do now in your country and sell how many acres of land to Chinese and nobody has the right to say nothing except this woman. Mama, I did under me foot for thank you, and we all support you. I've been getting a party where they support. Now, not tell you lie because I feel say when you want to bring change, you know, it no matter what party where you support, then I pull in all party now they support, now able for do something like the council because the look at the mindsets of the people where.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. I've been said 2 minutes, but I left people and make them talk for the 3 minutes because all of the contribution and you know words, I just feel like people want to pour out their heart, so I'm just giving them the space for pour out their heart. But when I try for keep them within the boundaries of the 3 minutes, I will go to the next caller. Caller, waiting on your name and also you the call for.
I'm just giving them the space for pour out their heart.
You
Hello.
need for dull you set, please. Dull you set, dull who say they listen to so that I not go get you feedback.
Okay, so you get me clear now?
Yes, go ahead.
Um. Anyway, good evening, concerned citizen, and I call from the US.
Okay.
First of all, I want to say plenty thank you to the mommy within na the TV right now. I appreciate everything so far where they go, where they do, and I also appreciate in submission so much. This is not the first time I've been following her, and I don't say we are the listing. I'm way always the talk. And for me personally, not the kind person we every Sierra Leonean forget trust in. If actually we were Salone go before, we for begin to look forward to people them like them kind Mamia win a Femi Claudius-Cole. Just like where somebody said just now, where they talk, you they see the sincerity in every bit of word where they say. And that thing with that person they talk now exactly the right thing. You see, it really unfortunate for get a president like Marabio in that country. Honestly, nothing not a go right now the country. It really appalling for letting sell over 250 acres of land for just $51 million. I mean, just like what you mentioned, who's part then now then part of them country there or any other parts of the world like, where they will just come out no more and sell the amount of land and they with them kind of money. Really disgraceful, and really shameful. But what they say here is you get a lot of Sierra Leoneans them where they see they kind of trash there where they go on at the country, but they still they support the current government. For me personally, both past and current leaders of Sierra Leone right now they're not serious. So if we begin to look forward to people like Femi Claudius-Cole, probably we don't take a step ahead for change. But so far as everything they go on right now in Salone, everything is a mess. A really shameful, a really disgraceful. Some of us are staying here in the US, not only like for say we get planned for stay here for long. And not only like for say some of we want even come on other country for can stay in the US. But you looking at the present situation, the predicament of the country, you look at and say, we not see no future. Absolutely, we not see no future. We not fight corruption. They not fight anything where they go on in that country. They always think they do point they have to make sure say they satisfy them own personal self and their own family members, but not for the general people of the country. So if the Sierra Leoneans them not get sense this time around, trust me, they allow Madabio for go for another time.
We died on.
I think that will come after it go really serious. It go then go feel the heat of the sun.
Well, I'm gonna take 3 more calls and then I go hold off the calls for a bit, because the callers them just be pouring. Unfortunately, today not on open mic. I actually get a guest who they talk to where we want to hear it from. But I go take 3 more calls. Caller waiting on your name and who say they call from. Hello, caller.
Yes, it's Matilda. It's not the end of the call. And I call from Kansas City.
Okay, I dey get feedback from I dey get quite a lot of feedback from you. Maybe technical team, maybe drop that call there and make we go to the next call and then get Miss Bendu for call.
That's very low.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Waiting on your name. Where you dey call from?
Oh, thank you very much. My name Umar. I dey call from Los Angeles, California. Madam Claudia, I want to say thank you very much. You now one of the women them we don't inspire me in that country day. You and we great Mayor Yvonne Akitoya. We need woman them Kuna. You know what you want to say me I dey go into I want to go because all time people like Ileko say, well, no don't go back. For me they go back. What me is people like say then two parties they're not good for we nation. They're not good for we nation, they not do nothing good by we nation. Let we just take the one we just commodity for 10 good years. Uninterrupted, no war, no coup, no nothing. Waiting then left with. Na hala. With the one that we come back, then lie say, then we are thief. They're not left giving hospital way good. The same cottage and the same corner where we sister them and we newborn then they diaper 30 day then they. The same corner where cockroach and fly then they meet and they left and they. We still not get clean water. Then grab then say then left sheep. I mean, in this 21st century, sheep. Why, for some reason, should you not forget a sustainable light, a sustainable water? We will not forget it. They say, hey, rainy season, now they get light. Why? Why? They say then at the good party, we get Salone to heart. Well, why they not set the tone? Because now me you see where then they left power, where Ernest Bacroman have been a lame duck president. The Constitution, he spent $8 million of Sierra Leoneans the money. They make that old power, Justice Kawago, all over that country there. For only for disgrace and say not do good and take and then put on down. Because if you feel say APC go win back, so he go there in control. This one will get now, we see the lie. He don't lie give you from the day where he win. Because the time when be the campaign, what he tell we? He tell we say nobody need to swear in again because if it's by Chroma, one of the election that will be win, he be swear in the net. Instead tell we say nobody need to swear in again and net. What he do? He swear in 1 o'clock a.m. So now the lie don't begin. This man don't come look the things away. Don't tell we. He don't promise we flour meal. He don't promise. He don't take all the money we say collect from the party from the opposition. He say they give it diagnostic center. Who said the diagnosis? Yesterday, Nairi in chief minister they talk 98.1 say the diagnostic center they come. So who side will they go? Let nobody not come and tell me about this party, about the other party. They're all too not good for we nation. Because this one way been there, the one way commodity we don't see from time immemorial. We see where Shaka Stephen take over. It meets good light. Up gone turntable by Blacko Road. We been get light, we been get the one at King Tom. Pump them in the open. Why not improve with that? Why not improve from that? We be for done the light, water for then now we real view mirror. But the same cottage where it meet, now the same cottage it keep for it die left. The same corner. Look how their condition they did. So let nobody not come and tell me about this party and that party. They know they're all too not good for we. Let God help you, me mama. Let God make people like you, Ivana Kisoya, and another one that will get this nation to heart. May they always say, I don't go to different podium and say, Sierra Leone not get the true son of Sierra Leone. When we country get the son of the soil, we will go better. The way can at the end up get somebody like the former president will die. Now he set the tone. Everybody else follow suit.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. I'll go to the next caller and then we go come back and engage and then I go maybe give a small bunya. Caller waiting at your name and who say they call for?
Concerned from Australia.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, thanks so much for the program. Very interesting, the submission of the panel and callers. Them, it's wonderful, and that's the beauty of democracy, where everybody they come and air out in concern, and that we for appreciate. The problem we may get, it's not about APC or SLPP. Is the problem. The problem, if we want to get more voices of women and empower women in that country, now that long people and they submitting at the party and get the problem, how we go try for reform or actually adjust the constitution, wherein we make and say any political party, when they set election for presidential elections, either the top of the ticket be a woman or the vice be a woman. Now they force you to begin for empower women. If that twin don't set, say, any political party where they register, the candidates they wait for be man and woman. Either the top be the woman or the bottom be the man, or the top be the man, the bottom be the woman. By that way, you open an opportunity and the clear chance for women to rule that country. Because at the end of the day, if you get the top of the ticket as a president and the second in command for be a woman, the chances that we will get a female president could be very, very, very high. So looking at the two main political parties, now one way that will be able to upset and change the narrative of Sierra Leone politics. Now that's my submission, and thanks very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Kola, go hold the phone line. So, Madam Femi, what's the way forward with this councillor situation? What is the way forward, and what would be the ideal?
Well, we actually don't talk with the members of parliament, the political parties in opposition at parliament. We don't talk to them. They don't realize the gravity of this situation. But I don't get much hope. Say, you see, the way our parliament stand right now is so contaminated. The day when me go witness the fiasco in parliament, I watch the speaker of parliament. I watch the Paran. Me chest full up. I said, now why so they represent we in a parliament? Is this our representation in parliament? Then it's like saying some barbarian show. Now we go. When they don't want for let we see the sign, the sight of the speaker of parliament, they say all man gonna do. They say we all gonna do. Our parliament is a disgrace. And we made a mistake. We made a blunder. We make big blunder. That beginning of this administration, where they pull parliamentarians, put second place people there, was a big mistake. Elect how that person terrible. If na vote, they vote for Alessi Donde. He was voted for. Then take people away can second, then give a ministerial position, then they give a parliamentarian position. Instead of supposedly going to a by-election. So some of the way they not deserve for the day. They not deserve them. Then they contaminate the parliament. The parliament is so non-contaminated now that you wonder what good can come out of it. This is a bad bill, a bad law, 91 pass. With the above say, even within the SLPP government, some MPs will get an awakening for say this is wrong. This cannot happen. This is not democracy in action. We cannot afford for begin take steps going towards a one-party state. I mean, we all don't come on another area day. We don't come on there. Why are you forcing us to go back there? Parliament, for me, is a shame. And when you observe, I know say other parliaments and stuff, then can make plaba, then can fet. But what is happening in the Sierra Leonean parliament is disgusting. We have a Speaker of the House that has no honor. He not get honor. He not get. He doesn't know what it is. This is a man in any other civilized society would resign. Would resign. Who was butt naked on social media. How can you speak of honor? How can you hold the mace of the country of Sierra Leone, the Republic of Sierra Leone? They're just a disgrace, my dear. So what will happen to this decentralization policy? Me, I'm afraid. We have made all the moves that we're able to make. But whatever this president wants, this president gets. Whatever they want, they get. Nobody is asking questions. They are spending the people's money as if to say, na akara and pancake. Then they go central bank, then they withdraw cash. Hundreds and thousands of dollars. We begin to not get everything and they eat. You say free education. You say free healthcare. You're not committed. You're not committed. You are just making just for the icing of men. And then you celebrate MCC score. What MCC score? What score? Where the people they get watana inside gutter, I do they get watana yella Obama. Inside gutter, I do they get water. And then you're talking about MCC scores. And then you're talking about all these things. Me, I don't know what it will take for them to have an awakening. Then there's Chief Minister now, they talk about the ground for dry for long. Yes, because you're milking it dry. Una one grain the milk and dry. You're using the people's money as if this NACOVAC, this COVID, there is no reason for people to still be dying like dogs in Sierra Leone. They don't have a handle on anything. Right now, we get patients where they look for the results. No result. They say, we're going no more. We're not able to see and we'll not see your results. Go no more. If you've been positive, we go don't call you. Chinese people and Indian people are flying into Sierra Leone. Other countries, they don't ban them. They are flying into Sierra Leone. They say they have this and they have that. They're bringing COVID. And what are we doing? We're just burying our dead.
I want to take the next few minutes for ask you some rapid fire questions. Them I know for say some of them will take a little bit of time to elaborate on, but political women swing, are they needed and are they necessary? What do they bring to the table?
Nothing. They're not needed.
Second, there is a campaign going on instituted by a group of women and men, I believe, that, they want for campaign that 2023, all political parties forget a female candidate as vice president nominee. Is that a welcome idea or is that a dream?
Well, I'm sorry, but if I'm to be truthful, it's still a dream. It's a dream because you get to look the machinery of the political parties. For you to be able to get that change day. You get for look at the machinery. What it mean for say, you know what it? Let all man go take membership na party. The moment you take membership and you become a delegate, you become a voter. You become a voter. But if we just talk it and we don't plan it, how does it become a reality? How? And we're looking at several layers. This thing, not to the cake where you don't say take no more, you better more. You get for look at the layers. How can women have a vote inside the party? How women they get vote inside the party? Where is a me one be? You have to be a delegate. You get for be a delegate. So it's like looking. You want to fix the motor car, but you need engine. You don't know one gonna more say women for vice president. It might happen. It could happen, but not because of those reasons. But then again, the publicity is good. So let us not say it's a waste of time. Let us say it is good investment. Not only that, but me feel to say if we want for really put with money good side, let us look at how about changing parliament? How about from 12% women to 50% women? Then we can really begin to say we they put money behind the woman there. A plan without money, a plan without finance is a waste of time. Let me begin say we they invest in the woman there now. Any woman we want stand for council, will they pay you nomination fee? Will they help you campaign? I mean, a strategic plan to get women in parliamentary seats. When they begin see that kind of momentum then they begin for realize say, well, this one don't reach for law of any woman for putting a VP slot too. But what about if we have women in parliament?
There was a time that election preceding when Madam Bio been take as a running mate, Madam Kadisi say, and also in the 2018 election where Kamarimba been take as a running mate, a woman as well. So it's not like it's never done in the past. But I think say then initiative where the one put now, the one lobby that it becomes a merge, that it becomes a pattern that when there is a male candidate, there is a female candidate. But you see what's troubling to me, and I make that clear where I've been sitting on at the panel to the organizer, is that it's not that I'm not applauding your effort and that I won't support your effort. But here is a situation right now where you are dealing with the current regime in power have 2 male candidates. And people voted for them as one ticket. So what do you say? Are you now telling them to go back and to go back and look into their internal constitution and change it before the 2023 election, hereby saying that the current vice president, Julde, will no longer be eligible to run with the president, and the president should choose a female candidate? Do you think you will succeed with that? Because no. If you want for do that kind of lobbying there, you first start with even the person or the party where they are power already. And I don't think that they have the room to be able to advocate for such. Maybe with other big political parties, yes, but with the current regime where normally if you want for do them kind of thing and then you for start with, it's not there. So are they already kicking themselves in the foot in the start to begin with? That is my query with this all. But again, like I said, I wish them good luck with it. Then go get me full support. But with me, with everything, I look at the logic, I look at everything, the whole, not just a piece of it. And when I look at the whole, the entirety of the thing, I don't see how they can pull it off in this 2023 coming election. It's something, like I said to them, start the groundwork and set your sights for maybe 2028, but not 2023. But I want to talk about health. How are we doing in our healthcare system in Sierra Leone?
I think that is one of our saddest stories. Now one of the saddest stories, next to education, now is saddest story. And we not seem, it's amazing. We get an administration where they're not focus it for really take care of the small things, for really look at things what we able for do. I dey listen to them, then they talk about a diagnostic center. Me say, let me talk about malaria. Let me just talk about malaria and malnutrition. Leave the diagnostic center first. You are nowhere there yet. You are not even able to relate with your medical staff. You are not able to relate with your medical staff. We're not able to provide the basics for the people of Sierra Leone. It's the basics. We're not able. You're talking about a diagnostic center. Shut up. Focus on malaria. Focus on clean drinking water. If you know the kind diseases and health issues where people in the work with na Salone, your heart they bleed. We get over 300,000 hernia cases. They take past 30 minutes, 40 minutes operation. We have children as small as 6, 7 years of age with hernia. Skin condition, not to mention. Not to mention. Typhoid, basic malaria, not to mention. And you're talking about a diagnostic center. Where are we? Then they get water na gutter, man. Now they inside the yellow rubber, now inside then they broke the pipe, inside the gutter, now they get water. You're talking about a diagnostic center. What planet are you on? All the dialysis that happens in Sierra Leone happens in a private clinic. $100 per dialysis. Can you get a mammogram? Can you? And we're talking about a diagnostic center. What are we diagnosing? Cancer? When we don't have the drugs for malaria?
How are we doing on maternal and child health?
We're still struggling, man. We are still struggling. We're still losing lives, man. We're still losing under 5s. We're still losing our children, our babies. We're still losing pregnant women in labor. We are nowhere where we need to be. Nowhere. Combra still get for go buy, get for carrying this, it get for carrying that, it get for carrying this, that, and the other. There are still areas where people have to walk miles to find a health worker. People that they work with a sick man in a hospital, then they go and find the hospital closed. There is nobody there. There is no equipment to work with. And the nurses shouldn't complain. The doctors shouldn't complain. When they take photographs, they are attacked. When they strike, they hold their pay.
Well, a lot of noise was made about the new health minister that came in, Dr. Dembe, that, with all of his connection, know-how, that, things will change. For me, people are like, give him some time, is new. But for me, I'm like, when you know the problem and you agree to take the job, it means you're coming in with solutions. And by now we should have been seeing the turnaround. We should have been seeing the evidence of those solutions. However, I personally feel like since he took over, things have gone from bad to worse. I don't know, you being in the health field, what has been your observation?
And you know what it is? the ministries are so fractured, Matilda, that they really are not accomplishing much. To me, I can look say something and for sack they all. Let us start with a totally different slate, whereby there is accountability. The drugs are supplied. Who keeps a track of it? The doctors check on the patients. The nurses give the patients their drugs. It is everybody running a private clinic within a private clinic. It's difficult for you able to foresee that we're making moves. I mean, like Children's Hospital, then they try. With what limited resources they have, they're doing the best they can. But Matilda, go to even King Herman Road. Go see Usabella woman and they sit down all day, then they punish. All day. They are treated as if they are beggars, not as if they're demanding a service which they should be given. Who's in charge? Who's going to monitor? Who's going to make sure that we deliver real health care to our people? Who? We are bogged down. We are so bogged down with things that do not matter, things that do not count. Now with COVID, look at COVID. We are having patients where they call them for can't take swab. They say they have no vehicles. They say they have no vehicles. Patients are hunting them for their results. They say they're not no side results there. Who's in charge of us in Sierra Leone? Would that be seen but we? Who? Now they say the hospital they're all full. Then they agree take sick man. Can't go you Osler, you go look after him. And how much money has people spent on COVID? Almost money. Some man non-gentry, they put die over COVID. All those vehicles, where are those vehicles now to pick up swabs? Where are they? And then they will be patting themselves on their back. Then go they pat themselves on the back.
I will take the last few calls and the phone lines they close because we are top of the hour. Take the last few calls and close the phone line so that we go round up. Caller waiting at your name and also you the call from. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Okay, so in that case, if we lost the calls, Madam Bendo, I'm so sorry that your call not come through. Let's close the phone lines. I'm not taking any more calls because the calls them I've been still get some calls. In that case, we close the phone lines. I'm not taking any more calls. Madam Fem, one call just came in. Okay, I go give you Bonya. Call her waiting at your name and also you the call for.
I'm glad for her.
Hello, caller. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Waiting at your name and where you the call from.
Concern from Australia.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to thank you so much again. And waiting on me want to add to what I be done. They say is the healthcare system read a whole overhaul and a whole reform. The amount of death in the country, the increase. Anytime you go Facebook, the rest in peace from Sierra Leone, it is on the increase. And the health ministry, the doctors, them actually need for sit down and look at and know the call. They want for do research. Why has death rate has increased during this past time? Than ever in Sierra Leone. Anytime we go Facebook, it's too sad. So young people they die. Very young people they die. And the worst case scenario na Freetown, the worst case, let you person not sick middle late. To me, mommy, and this day the chances for me that person survive. Very, very minimal. I don't feel that my sister died at Freetown now midnight and the family just died again at Freetown midnight. Two family there. And it's always sick attack you person at midnight at Freetown. The chances for me that person live if not serious attack are very, very, very slim. Because you go to the hospital, you not see doctors, even the nurses and police senior nurses at the hospital, are very, very hard. And if you not get money for go for run go to the private hospital, you not going to even get the courage for go there because nobody will going to attend to you. And again, we are in the diaspora. Now that the vaccine for the COVID, because they blame the Indians and the Chinese going to Sierra Leone, and especially like Australia, they travel. They travel for go and they with the Australians then. From what is still happening, you hardly seen an Australian because you get for apply. You get for apply and give reason why you want to go. And where you go, they give you 3 months. And when you go to the airline, they tell you, say, you go know the time where you go, but the time where you come. If you not be careful, you go nearly take 6 to 1 year and a free tour before they pay flights for you for come back. But we brothers in America, with sisters within England, America, Europe, the vaccine they don't come. Una take them vaccine here before una go to Sierra Leone. Una not just go to Sierra Leone unvaccinated. I don't take me AstraZeneca vaccine. I don't take the first dose, the second dose. Nothing not happen with me. But again, that no go get effect, it no go affect you. I know they dispute that fact. Any medical medication you take, some people must get a reaction. That is normal. So I not go argue that point today. But me, they encourage Sierra Leoneans also, in as much as they blame foreigners the way they go, especially brothers the way they come out, England, America, and Europe, where they go free term, they are not exempted from the foreigners. They are all the same. So me, they encourage them. I made them take the vaccine. We all have problem. No one like they contribute to that country for care go the COVID. Now that's my main submission. Now thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. I believe standing at the last call for tonight. And we they close the phone line. So, Madam Femi, again, I ask, education, how are we doing?
We I think to say what we would do na Salone, we just do like half measures. Right now, I communicate with them, students the way they don't just abandon them, then them come with students them. And I find I'm so very sad. The fact say, I wish this government can actually sorry for their students and actually give them small chance. Let them the women not already done at the college, let them done. No, I don't think so. We really don't committed completely yet to the education of picking them. We're not. We do still a lot of superficial. I mean, we applaud the government. The fact that they try for do a free, no school fee policy. But I feel to say for the amount of monies that then they commit to them, I be really the above say we don't see a lot more traction with education than we see now. For me, a lot of them still na boku makeup, na eyeshadow and lipstick. Compared and still they struggle for able to make the additional fees the way they compound pan the parents them still quite a lot. Male workers them spent about 300,000 for each picking. One inga for go S1 is spent about 300 and something thousand. One in a from one instead is spent about that. So we say no more saying a free education, but we're not there yet. And the quality of the education still leaves a lot to be desired. I feel to say if this government really committed for really putting a lot of effort and really embrace a lot of people and for come together, we can able to see a difference. I was shocked. Say this MPSC exam, they still get for share one exam to two picking to one exam paper. I was shocked, disappointed, and I actually said to the Minister of Basic that I was expecting that the Ministry of Education be able to do a simple mathematics. If we get 5,000 children taking exam, we should have 5,000 exam papers. Is it that somebody they suppose for print time, not a print time, we make the picking and still get for share? So I don't know. And I think the entire structure of the educational system needs to be reviewed, where we begin for look from the foundation all the way up. Say, who say we they get failing? What else we fit do? It's good to be able to bite the whole thing with one kick, But then it's also good for you to plan so that it's not shaky. But for now, the educational system, it is what it is. It could be a whole lot better. I think if people are really committed to it instead of paying lip service to it. That's my point. That's my opinion.
Indeed, it could be a whole lot better. We don't see, say, from where the free quality education system began. There's been an augmentation. There's been the volume don't increase from pamphlets, private pamphlets for teacher now, not to the school curriculum anymore. Every pamphlet, every teacher gets a own pamphlet for your own subject. Every teacher gets a school lesson. It's like pupils are not being taught in class, they are being given assignments. If you want explanation, if you want for go in depth to whatever you need for
And the
go pay
classes are
lesson fee to
huge.
the teacher, and then you need for
Classes
buy
are
the
huge.
pamphlet. And I understand, say, pamphlets before you don't buy and this, that. I mean, my own nephew, about a million, 1.5 million later,
Not a college
I mean,
day.
no, I'm talking grammar school. College maybe before say no, I'm speaking grammar school, just grammar school. But listen, we know what's going on, and sometimes we sit back and pretend as if our family members are not going through these things because we want to. I want to really sit back and make the governments take the role and the people in within our power do the right thing. But we are affected. We are affected, and we see the ramifications of these things. We feel it. Now, I want to talk about, even as we close the show, the Coppp. You obviously are the leader of the Coppp. Coppp come together, if people are not know it's in a Coppp means, the consortium of progressive political parties. That's what it means. So different, about 13 political parties, they come together and say, wetin we dey see, we no like, and we feel saying that this supposed to happen. Do you think the Coppp will be successful in their objectives, in attaining their objectives?
Yes, I think the Coppp will be successful. In fact, I think the Coppp might actually surprise people on just how successful Coppp is going to be. The reason why I say that with confidence is because Coppp also get for focus on the narrative. We get for begin for talk to the public with a level of honesty. Some political party will get a hard time for actually able for look people in the face and for tell them to, so we don't like you, una boku. But this time around, with a big, una forgive we. We don't mess up, we don't lie. One caller talk him. He talk about the former regime. That government had 10 years. 10 years. You can imagine whose kind of judiciary we for don't get in 10 years. Whose kind of education system we for don't get in 10 years, but they drop the ball. Then drop the ball. And we get for able for look at each other in the face, look at the public and say, una no lie one. We were part of the problem. We have been part of the problem. But this time around, we get for be part of the solution. And the reason I get very high hopes of Coppp is because we dey deal now with a Coppp wey no get tribe. Tribalism and regionalism and color politics don't be the biggest handicap. Where we're not able for look we campaign now, we face with and two. We get for always find the way for style and talk and let it come off fine. Now, Coppp they speak with the plain language. If you say you dey part of Coppp, we get for begin for act on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone. It do so where we pass and pan them. It do so where we make so many promises we were not able to keep. The point where me go ever feel to say Coppp not able to deliver on him promise, now that they made a bow out come on our politics. But for as long as are able to forget, say and sway in waiting Coppp they do, whosoever we get for all, we get for all and with Tuan, and we get for all and with a conscience. Say, really and truly, una we do this one whole thing back, we can rely give people them back, we sit down with the look the inside and yeah, it will not deliver nothing. Then we deserve to go to hell. Politicians have the worst reputation in Sierra Leone. And we now get for use we own actions for able to exonerate we own self. Some of we they are new into the political arena, yes. But one thing I can tell you, Matilda, would they tell their old man then true? Now would they tell them the hard truth? You could have fixed it, but you didn't. Now we have to fix it. This is not about you getting rich or me getting rich. Those days are gone. We not go sit down no more with the Coppp and other country than with the Coppp and other country. Are we stupid? Are we so ignorant that the gold that they are mining is not our gold? We sit down no more, they look there like a big fool. Year in, year out. Year in, year out. I think 2023 has to be a turning point. It's going to have to be a turning point.
It's going to have to be a turning point. I want to read the Coppp then goals and specific objectives. So the goal of Coppp is a platform for collective opposition to laws, policies, and executive decisions that tend to be affecting the advancement of democracy and the achievement of a credible national electoral process and outcomes. And then the specific objectives then say, to stop the legislation of electoral laws and policies that will undermine the credibility of national elections in 2022-2023, to collectively advocate for strengthening the administrative capacity of political parties for them to fulfill their constitutional mandates. 3, to prevent political intimidation, harassment, and violence before, during, and after the national elections. 4, to advocate for the reactivation of the National Task Force for the implementation of the EOM. And 5, to draw attention to gross human abuses and impunities. With that said, I know say you party, the Unity Party, they're part of the Coppp. What's next for the Unity Party? What's ahead for the Unity Party?
Well, Unity Party is ongoing. It's constant growth. Now we they try for do with the party. We're constantly growing the party. And I really appreciate the involvement of a lot of more young people. The young people, let us seem forget their mindset, the way we, the older ones, and they come into. So Unity Party is constantly trying to grow the young people, the young crowd, for let them begin for really take a responsibility, not just the way politics before, but how we can actually make a difference. Like and now, so we they get engagements, we they get social engagements, which we do once a month, where people can come, we just meet, we can just talk about whatever issue, whatever plan. Where do we see ourselves in the future as a party and as young people, as part of a political party? How do we keep the fire burning of a political party where we don't just trade in our principles, we trade in our integrity? how will they pursue them? You know, for there we get a campaign that is meaningful, a campaign that the issues are paramount, not just say you go shape cap, you go shape this, you go shape that. How do we engage with the issues? How do we engage with the young people? So Unity Party is ongoing. Nande will not ever tire for Duam, constantly communicating and constantly talking with membership. And now we actually they go all out for growing membership. We will not just say pseudonymous say, you know, if they can, then can. No, we're actually going out aggressively now and meeting people and saying, come and talk to us, come and meet us, come and see who we are. And come and see if you can actually do politics with a difference, do politics a different style for a change. And what I'm really thankful is people are really beginning to come on board and take membership. People actually they pay membership now, which was like dead before. So we're very appreciative of that the party office is moving and it's vibrant and it's alive.
That's good. 2 last questions for you as we close. Are Sierra Leoneans in control of Sierra Leone, or are foreigners in control of Sierra Leone?
Foreigners are in control of Sierra Leone.
Should youth dare to dream? And we're allowing them. Should youths continue to dream? Should they dare to dream? And should they look forward to leadership?
I think the youth should dare to dream. They should dream bold. They should dream of a sense of ownership. They should realize that this is their Sierra Leone. This is theirs. This is yours. And nobody should make you feel like a second-class citizen in your own country. And you have to make demands of us, of the politicians. You have to begin to put boundaries to us. Don't make empty promises. If you don't have anything good to say, then shut up. But don't come here making big promises, bold promises you know you cannot keep. Why? Because this is our Sierra Leone. We want to know what you want to do. This now country. And I think Sierra Leonean youth, we really, the need for really rise up and say, you know, like you will. Those days are gone. Now there's an internet. Now there's social media. Now the world is connected in such a way that your lies don't stay lies for very long. We don't know what they do. And I think the youth of Sierra Leone really should start making those demands. And don't nobody fraud them anymore. It's nobody take their hand for coal in a fire. Say, oh, the youths. No, this is their country. When I die, when they die, goes so this is theirs. This is theirs, and we have no respect for them. We have none. And I think that sense of ownership has to begin to dawn on them. You know, they see Chinese man, you feel to say you're inferior to them. You see Lebanese man, you feel to say you're inferior to them. No, you're not. No. This is your gold. This is your diamond. This is your Black Johnson. This is your fish. Are we pawns? No, we're not. And I think that I'm beginning to see that awakening. I really begin to see that awakening. And the more I interact with the young people, the more hopeful I am that it's going to be better in Sierra Leone. It has to be better in Sierra Leone. And Sierra Leone should be that paradise that we know it should be. You know, we're not there for accept second class. No.
We not get for accept second class. And with that, I asked my final question. Youth taking on leadership, youth daring to dream and becoming leaders. Are the current laws of the cyber bill a plus for the cloud space for youth or a minus?
I think the cybercrime bill is a case of us putting the cat in front of the horse. Can you have a cybercrime bill without having a privacy bill? there's so many gaps in the cybercrime bill. There's so many gaps that we will all fall victim to it. We will all fall victim to it. They are promising a privacy bill, which by rights, the privacy bill comes first. When I take your computer, how long should I keep it? Where should I keep it? What information is taboo? What information can I infringe upon? Where do I secure your computer? When do I return it? What's the time frame that you should have it? I should have it. We need a privacy bill before we ever should have had a cybercrime bill. A lot of effort has been put into tweaking it. It will not be perfect because it has been rushed. The consequences of it will live after. We will suffer the consequences of it. A good job was not done. It was done in a hurry. It was done in a haste. And it was done with ulterior motive. The ulterior motives will come out. We will find out where they were going with this. I say shame on Sludge. Those who should be the custodians of our democracy trade in our democracy. They should have put up a much stronger fight. Instead, they were giving our president awards for what I don't know. But these are how laws get made in Sierra Leone. And then we all suffer the consequences of it. We wait and see.
We wait and see, and indeed, I believe that people then go they say, Matilda, why make you refuse for discuss the cybercrime bill in detail? Because as I speak, the president has not signed it into law, and I'm waiting to see when he reads the fine print if it is something that he will sign into law, and if it is something that he signs into law, then I get the open, like what I can say, tabla rasa, blueprint for me for discuss, the ideology and thinking and, frame
behind it.
Such the bill into law. But until then, the talk not they ever done. I promise you that Madam Femi Claudius-Cole will be here. This will not be the last time you see her on this platform. I tell and thank you for where it graced this platform tonight. I hope say una the viewers them una don't learn a lot from in presence here tonight. And we will continue for educate ourselves, like I always say. My goal is to educate. My goal is to sensitize. My goal is to bring awareness. My goal is for us to have open and unfiltered discussion. I hope so we don't get standing tonight. I thank Madam Femi Claudius-Cole very much. Like I can always say, I'm going to continue for what's una and them, una continue for where una mask them, una continue for observe una social distancing, and if una get the possibility for take the vaccines, please go take your vaccines because it does save life. Please take your vaccines, it does save life. Between last week and this week, I know the RIPs are so many that I blanked out.
Yeah.
There are so many that I blanked out. Na oxygen in not been get. Na oxygen left on the road. Oxygen not been there. How long for a country that used to produce oxygen? How long?
Long.
The story is long, and we can keep going, or we can end Anaya. For today, I choose for end Anaya. So, Madam Femi Claudius-Cole, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers.